Peace, peace, peace. Took me forever to get on this live. Peace, peace, peace. I'm not going to be up here long today, for real, for real. We're just going to discuss a little bit about the mind. But before I get into that, I want everybody to get it out of their system because I know they coming. Peace, peace, peace to everybody tapping in. Y'all see the title? Proceed if it's not for you. You want to know what I noticed? People like drama. And I feel like it's crazy. Being that there's so much going on, there's so much to delve into, there's so much happening around us right now. You know, you never really know where to look to or whatever. It's okay to, I guess, it's okay to latch on to something. But people like drama. All they want to see is people argue. We see problems. It may be issues, you know what I'm talking about, within the community or whatever that we can see or whatever. But ain't gonna nothing happen until we fix home first. You know? Home is in multiple places. But I'm talking about from within. I'm talking about going from within. See, a person can be taught something at an early age and form an ego, a whole perspective about how life is supposed to be and how it's supposed to pan out because someone told them that. And it don't help when they get around a lot of individuals that believe it. You know what I'm talking about? You can't base your life off of beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It's better to base your life off of things that you actually know. You know, by what you experience, what's going on inside of you. Take a good look at yourself and see what's going on inside of yourself. The easiest thing to do is tell you a religion, a doctrine, a being is going to come for you when you are the most powerful being on this planet, in this universe. But they will try to scare you, install fear in you. Oh man, what the bam. This being finna come. If you don't get down with this, I'm telling you to get down with yourself. Whatever urges that you didn't allow yourself to get into, whatever you feel like because someone told you it was wrong to do, then that's what you should be running toward. Because take a look at that individual's life and then take a look at your life. One thing I found out about Satanism while I was just nothing but negativity. I mean, that's fine. We gonna delve into Comedicism. You get what I'm saying? We gonna delve into Comedicism because all is one. And people like to throw things around like big words or all these big old statements and all that stuff or whatever. They running from the information. You know what I'm talking about? You can study that, but if you study Comedicism, you will understand that comes from that. That's the go to Mendez inside of Kemet. You get what I'm saying? Take a step back and find some understanding. I know understanding. Find some understanding. And that's what I'm really trying to get to. So it really don't matter what a person get into. They just said Comedicism heals the soul. That's absolutely fine, and that's absolutely beautiful. I love that. You get what I'm talking about? But most individuals don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Now I get involved into a little bit of everything, but I urge not to project whatever it is you deem that you're doing, whatever it is healing you. Don't project that onto nobody unless it's going to be something in general. Like tapping into yourself and actually healing yourself, like your subconscious mind. We don't have to base it off beliefs to heal ourselves. We can just go inside of ourselves. You was the big book. The greatest book ever. And it just continues on and on and on and on and on. So much to learn about yourself. To master yourself is to master the universe. To understand yourself is to understand the universe. So, but a lot of people try to master the world. They try to master other individuals or whatever like that. No, you got to master yourself. If ain't nobody trying to master themselves, then you literally just the cattle. There's so many things being pushed your way, right? And it's being like you being controlled subconsciously. How many people don't like to go to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor, and what do they wear? They wear blue and white. Subconsciously, that makes you calm. So you resonate with that. We don't like doctors though, but we be calm up in there because the colors that they wear, everything is symbolism. You know what I'm saying? Know thyself, for sure, for sure. And I'm not saying don't try to find no understanding within the universe or within this reality or whatever. But the best way to understand it is to understand the self. That's what I'm trying to make here. I'm not gonna tell you that this the only way. I'm not gonna tell you that Christianity is the only way. I'm not gonna tell you that Islam is the only way. I'm not gonna tell you that Judaism, Norse mythology, Greek mythology, um, the Trojan mythology. I'm not gonna tell you that all of that is just, all of that is one. Because if you study each and every one of them, right, you will find similarities, yes. You will find some of the same stories, yes, but they will all be told in a different way. Why is that? Because putting it together tells this great big story about what's going on inside of you. It's an alchemical process that's going on inside of you. We know what alchemy is, the highest form of science. But we look at it how Hollywood then romanticized it. You know what I'm saying? Or we changing this and that, which is still true. You get what I'm talking about? But you have to understand the science behind it. And while all that's cool and fancy, right, it's still going back to understanding thyself. That's all it's really talking about. They put it in mythology because as a people, the people that we are or whatever, right, we use signs and symbols. Look at all of the metal netter. The first forms of writing was pictures. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a book called Atlantis and Lemuria, um, it tells about the mind of those types of individuals. It says that the mind that we have now is more superior only because you deal with numbers and how you think now and codes and all that with logic or whatever. But back then, when we looked at an image, right, it was kind of like what TV does now to you. It moved for you. It spoke to you. It gave you emotions. You know what I'm talking about? That you can resonate with different situations in life. You know what I'm talking about? You really didn't need to go through so many years of school. And now, mind you, you definitely still learn because life is one big lesson. But you didn't have to sit down in the format that they taught us now because all of life is a lesson, like I'm saying. Some water. So I just think it's crazy for an individual to just try to press one thing upon someone. I put that up there, right? For a reason, yes, because everything happens for a reason. I put that up there because I know it's going to be some individuals that come with the lack of understanding. They're going to come, they're going to spread, and it gives me the chance to go ahead and be like, well, woo. All this means is positive and negative energy that lies within yourself. Everything is symbolism. Everything. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not even necessarily a truth. It's the to me the truth is whatever works for you. because nobody's never going to agree with you 100%. But that's the key. You don't want to get nobody to agree with you. You don't want nobody. You ain't trying to convince nobody. You want to convince yourself. Think about it like this. You'd have been taught this way this entire time. And then somewhere in yourself, you've been dissatisfied because someone told me a long time ago, you have to have a dissatisfaction in order to make some type of change or whatever, right? So you had some type of dissatisfaction in your life that turned you toward yourself to be able to look inside yourself for the answers. You get what I'm saying? Now, whatever those answers is, a lot of people ain't going to agree with that. Most people will, as far as the ones that's on this path, or whatever. But it may not be the same thing that you're talking about or whatever. But all you can do is embrace it and accept it. That's that empathy. You know what I'm talking about? But society now wants you to think one way and one way only. And when I say society, I'm talking about the people that you probably call the elites, the ones that we never see. I ain't talking about the ones that come through and be like, well, this is that. They've been told that. You can't be mad at them. They know not what they do. A person that's dealing with Jesus Christ, I won't tell them they wrong unless you had a personal relationship with this thing. With this, if you was trying to look at it esoterically, because there's a way to look at everything esoterically, meaning it's a positive and negative aspect in everything. So while we were taught, you look in the Bible, you got God, you got the devil, mind you, you got positive, you got negative or whatever, but you're supposed to love one and worship one and hate the other. The world don't work like that. The world comes with both positive and negative energies to make that spark. Nothing outside of you. Yeah, man. I feel that. And it is, though. But see, it's only strange because you've been taught to view it a certain way, right? The more and more you tap into yourself and understand all of these sciences, these symbols, the understandings, the meta symbols, it becomes more practical. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how it's supposed to feel. It's supposed to be normal for you. Because all this is normal. Like, people be like, yeah, Jesus is king, God is coming, woo woo. And we be like, we tapping into magic. What is magic? Magic is to manipulate the nature around you, the reality around you. And when you reach your highest point, you tap into your chakras or whatever, and now you get into the cosmic nature. You know, they talk about the cosmos or whatever. So that's supposed to be like oneness. That's God right there. We able to communicate with this. Whatever you deem. Carl Jung always talk about the different archetypes, and the archetype is just the primordial image, right? So you got God, you got the devil, you got the mother, you got the father, you got all these different type of terms or whatever, right? And meta symbols or whatever, and it's like a primordial blueprint inside of your head, basically, in your subconscious mind. It already exists there, and you can access this. In so many words, you are your brother, you are your sister, you are your mother, you are your child, you are your father. All the way down to the physical, the baby creates his own embryonic sac and is trying to survive while the mother is trying to purge it out, because this is a foreign entity, especially if it's a male. That's just a little bit of science. But it from the physical all the way back to the spiritual or metaphysical, whatever you want to say, it all applies. And what is that saying? It's saying that it's you. So you got to type into you. Now, I believe in everything as far as like we gods, we this, we great. Because if you think about it, all these miraculous things we are capable of. So yes, we are, right? But it just doesn't stop there. You know what I'm saying? Too many people that wrote our story for us, whether they look like us or not. You know what I'm saying? The age that we in right now, the information age that we in right now, we're supposed to utilize this information to transform our lives to something greater. We were at a height before. Now we're supposed to rise to an even higher height. you know what I'm saying, and release ourselves from all of the baggage that came with this experience. Not just one lifetime, but over 1,000,000,000,000 lifetimes. Because we've been here and we've been doing this, right? And there's so many different stories, but we cling on to whatever, whatever we resonate with. But whatever we resonate with, I feel like will help you, gateway up out of here and have a brand new experience outside of this one. How you have a physical body, right? We have an actual light body. I'm not talking about the astral mental body that you have in your lucid dreams and in the astral realm. What they're trying to tell you is we're gonna ascend from this third dimension to the fourth, fifth dimension. That's still in the matrix. It will still be a part of this. So there will still be a height that you can fall from. If this not resonating with you, you feel I'm talking about, then it ain't hit you yet. But trust me, the ones that know, they know. There is a way out of here. And that's why I don't get down on like the people that like when they be trying to come at me with negativity. I don't try to get down on them because guess what? You believe in the Bible or whatever, right? And they tell you when you pass, you going to heaven, yada yada yada. The same people that's conscious is telling you, you going to somewhere else the same way. I'm telling you, right? If you don't look at the science in a religious way, all of the science, not just one thing. If you look at all the science in a non-religious way, it's telling you that you're getting out of here and creating your own thing. Your own thing. See, they just said repent. I don't argue. We just get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, in the book Black Root Science, they talk about how how they say the 144 ancestors, and there's even a metaphysical meaning or counterpart in your body with that. But they talk about the 144,000 ancestors or whatever, and how they multiply to 1 billion, 8 million or whatever. And that's supposed to be our natural population or whatever, right? But in saying that, they said how it said we, because the ancestors that they're talking about is us, meaning we keep coming back here. We always been here. So before we came here, whatever, we were in a whole different universe, and it's the same thing in the Bible. It just they don't explain it in the Bible, but in Gnosticism they explain it more. In Cometicism they explain it more as well. In Norse mythology they explain it more. They explain this primordial chaos world. You feel what I'm talking about, and what these beings were doing or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And then they talk about us coming here. We keep on coming back, but these worlds, the primordial worlds that we existed on, they still exist inside of us, in our chakras, in our mythology, inside of our subconscious mind through the archetypes. This is how an individual will come here, become enlightened, go inside of themselves, come up with the mythology, and be like, oh man, because it sounds right, because it's similar, and you can resonate with it because it came out of you. You know what I'm talking about? If we're all reflections of each other, it came out of this individual. They resonate high, and you can tap into that. You feel what I'm talking about? But it's not saying follow it. I appreciate you. You don't make it's not telling you to follow it as far as how we were taught as sectarianism. Just straightforward to the point, like religion. You feel what I'm saying? You're not supposed to utilize it like that. We are a natural people, a natural spiritual people. We're not even a people, we're a species. We're a species that understands integration. What you are, right? You a mixture of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, which is just two different types of bacteria. One is multicellular and one is single cellular. The single cellular is like the soul, the solar being. You feel what I'm talking about? It comes from light. Those are prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are multi-cell organisms. So it's like the animals, the humans, quote unquote, or whatever, these type of bodies in the earth. And what you're like every day, what you do when you get up, you go to work or whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Your daily doings or whatever, as a human, this experience. You cannot experience this experience being a prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells definitely exist as far as like you can see them, like the little bacteria or whatever, but under a microscope. So you can't have no experience like this, right? So you integrate. Your mitochondrial DNA cell, right, is a bacteria cell. It's a matrix within. It has a matrix within inside of it. When you go inside of it, it's a mechanism called a matrix inside of there. And we have these all over our body. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm getting at is, if you study biology, they'll tell you that all these different germs and bacteria and all that stuff, whatever, we exist in symbiosis, basically. You know what I'm talking about? And like they feed off of everything that you eat. Well, that's why you're really supposed to eat all of the good stuff, not the bad stuff, because all of the toxic foods that you eat or whatever, they create certain organisms that's not supposed to be inside of your body, like little parasites or whatever. And that's what's really craving the foods that you know what I'm saying, that you be thinking that you craving or whatever. So basically what I'm saying is you having a dual experience right now. You know what I'm talking about? It's only that the natural way of living that you had back in the day got cut off a few thousand years ago. But that's cool. There's so many people that want to share information now. That's fine. But I feel like the most important thing is understanding thyself, because you could be sitting here listening to some shit and you could be the next one. You could be the next one to bring something that all of us need. While we sitting here talking about let's take the planet over, whatever, you could be here with the answers. Because I'm gonna tell you this. It ain't gonna be nobody coming through doing all of that. They gave us the history of what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? All these highly advanced technological ships and all of that stuff, we have that and had that already. If we read in one doctrine, nice, I don't know if it's really a doctrine, but you got the Hermetic teachings or whatever. They talk about Thoth. Thoth talks about ships being buried here. If I'm talking about, I know them Jew people, they don't want to let you know where they at, because they know where they at. They don't want to let you know where they at. You feel what I'm saying? Because they know our DNA automatically unlocks it and activates it. Just like how you can be reading a book and you look at the hieroglyphics, you deal with it long enough or whatever, you unlock stuff inside of you. But if you go there and actually see it with your physical eyes, and you be there within that energy field or whatever, you unlock stuff inside of you. That's why they don't want you to be around there. But in the Hermetic teachings or whatever, Thoth said, he did say this. He said one of the ships was up under the Sphinx. Now, I don't think it's the actual Sphinx that's out there in quote unquote Africa, because everybody go there. You feel what I'm talking about? I think it's the one that's in America, in the Grand Canyons or whatever, because nobody can go there now. NASA just bought that. But that's just what I think. And, I read that, and that's in the Hermetic teachings. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is more and more and more and more individuals are becoming aware of themselves. They're tapping into themselves. They're creating things. That one guy that created that staff that charges up and activates your aura, basically. You know what I'm talking about? With the sounds, the copper, and the crystals. This man creating batteries out of copper and magnets. You know what I'm saying? Staffs. And you know what we can do with that. It's emitting energy. You know what you can do with that. And just think about it. Because if you understand, like, watch this. If you watch that movie Prometheus, which is connected to the Alien movies, Alien versus Predator and all that. The Prometheus movie, it really showed you, because it had those they call them the engineers, the ones that quote unquote supposed to have created humanity or whatever. But on their ships was it functioned off of notes and sounds. You know what I'm saying? And then all of these new movies, like the new Marvel movies or whatever, any movie that's like science fiction with like some type of spaceship or whatever, if you notice, they all move. It's like some type of organism or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's organic. And that's what they've been showing us this entire time, saying that we basically one with nature is what I'm getting at. You get what I'm talking about? So all of these highly technological advancements that society say that we have or whatever, or that they promoting around or whatever, it really ain't nothing. You know what I'm talking about? It's gonna be us that's gonna come up with something that you're gonna be one with. You feel what I'm talking about? That's the type of balance that we dealing with. Gee, man, I swear. Listen, you can't be messing up the flow of things, baby. You feel me? See, you see how, listen, watch this. Y'all see how long it took for us to be brainwashed? It said about just over 6,000 years. But it took 6,000 years for them to get us like that. I don't care what you believe, it does not matter if it's working for you. I feel like it's beautiful, like I said before. But we have to be adult about what's going on here. I see stuff I don't listen. I see those AI NPC people that be repeating things, and I think that's really like disturbing to watch. But I don't click on it because you don't have to click on the video. You can just watch the video from not you don't have to give me a view. You can just watch the video, and if you don't like it, you can just scroll up. They actually sit there, click on it. I'm finna type out a whole story because I have to save him. You can't be like that because it's 8 billion people in the world, and they said that our natural population is supposed to be 1,000,000,008 million. It's supposed to be natural for us to not be able to infringe on anybody, infringe on the resources, um, the animals, everything. So we're supposed to be able to live in harmony and peace, basically. So when they be talking about, oh man, the world is overpopulated or whatever, it is overpopulated. You know what I'm saying? But we living in that apocalyptic era. It's not gonna happen like the movies. It may happen in a few years from now, but this is the start of it. The start of it begins with a spread of information. A spread of information that some people will call truth. I feel like it's their own truth. Because it's whatever that's working for you. You can't tell a person that it's not real if it's not working for them. You know what I'm saying? I would never argue with them. But what I will say is that it's not the end all be all. You know what I'm talking about ain't the end all be all. That's the goal for me though. You feel what I'm talking about? But you can't expect that to be the end all be all. Anything. You know what I'm saying? But the best thing and the best way to learn everything about everything and anything is looking inside yourself. How do you react to certain things? You know what I'm talking about? What makes you tick? What makes you laugh? What makes you happy? You know what I'm saying? We got to be in a real different type of state of mind, a different type of a different state of being. You feel what I'm talking about when we moving like this? We ain't angry people. You feel what I'm saying? We are loving people. I'm not saying don't use your anger because anger gets shit done, but you got to know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mad for a certain type of cause or whatever, basically. You know what I'm saying? What you happy for? Then what makes you sad? How do you utilize that? You get me? What you are and who you are, you the ultimate receiver and conductor. When when you take in light, when you take in information, when you take in food or whatever, you reconstruct that. It can come out negative, it can come out positive. Meaning through your health or, mental health, your physical health, you know what I'm saying? Chakras, all of that. You got to be aware of these things, is what I'm saying. We can't just rely on one thing to just, I guess, cope with and get us through life. You never know how long you're gonna be here. Cause why you here and what's going on. If you truly aware, you don't, when I say truly aware, I don't mean see, because everybody be saying everything. I'm talking about what's going on inside of you. You know what I'm talking about? You would know what's going on in the world if you knew what was going on inside of you or whatever. So if you was truly aware, right, you wouldn't be quoting like not quoting, but you wouldn't be just pushing like one thing. You feel what I'm talking about? Because first and foremost, we here to study and learn. You feel what I'm talking about? And what's really going on right now is it's a lot of craziness going on. But you here, so that means you're here for a purpose. And if you have a purpose, if you haven't found out that purpose, that should be the first thing in your plate to be doing. And the best way to do that is going inside of yourself, not following nobody, not following nothing. You know what I'm talking about? What do your dreams say? What are the signs and symbols that you are unaware of every single day? Stop and listen to your surroundings. Become aware. Sound crazy because you just want to go outside and fly. But to do that, you feel what I'm saying? You got to be aware of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So many people get on here and be like, yeah, Joey, guys, we finna do this, we finna do that. What about the ones that don't really know what's going on for real, for real? And what we deem is we going through real shit because it is. That's the realest thing ever. You feel what I'm talking about? That's the realest thing ever. What you going through right now personally. Testimony? I have a testimony. What are you talking about? You don't even know who I am. I don't even share that. I'm I'm somebody else outside of this. I've been somebody for a long time outside of this. And I've been working on that. But it has nothing to do with God. I'm blocked from truly. Wait. I'm blocked from truly where doctors put me on meds for I don't know how to fit. Man, listen. You not blocked? What are you talking? Listen, what you mean? You tweaking? You the one. Hold on. You the one. I'm glad you said that. See, mania, autism, what do you call that? Down syndrome and schizophrenia. All of those individuals have a higher dose of DMT naturally running through their body, right? So you know how people take shrooms, they take LSD, they take DMT and ayahuasca and all that or whatever, and they have these different revelations or whatever, and then they come back to like, man, I was just one with God, I was just one with nature and all of that. Okay, and then you had the people that are like, man, I'm trying to do it naturally or whatever and all that. The natural way to do it is to go inside yourself, meditate and all that stuff, whatever. It's different meditations that you can do or whatever, and different techniques that you can do to bring upon the DNT inside of your brain or whatever, because they say that you only produce it when you're born and when you die. But with the yogis and all of the monks or whatever, all the people that really meditate for real, this is what they're doing, and this is how they're bringing on that different awareness and breaking through that veil or whatever. So when you do it so much, it becomes natural, right? For an individual that's not going through that. So it becomes natural, whatever, and you start to quote unquote see things that's not there because it's not there. It's in a different reality. But what's going on inside of your mind, you're able to see that. You know what I'm saying? So technically, stop taking the medicine. That medicine really messes you up eternally. Just learn how to cope with what you're witnessing. You feel I'm talking about? Engage with it, interact with it. You're not crazy. You feel I'm talking about? We're talking about individuals that in the hospital, if y'all understand this, like the war, like the first war. So like not like in the 50s and all that. Way back in the day. They were they were testing on like men and they like, let's say 30, 40s or whatever, white men in their 30, 40s or whatever. So this is the way that they test on everybody now. They don't know how to test on you, and they don't understand how to test on you for real, for real. They don't even test the women right. They test the women how they test men. You feel what I'm talking about? Like for a woman, I think in her arm, leg, and her side or whatever, when she start to feel like little pressure points right there, whatever, that's signs of a heart attack. But for a man, we look out for right away in our heart. And they teach everybody that, basically. So they're not diagnosing us right. I don't take it now. People are able to. Yeah, man, they do. But just know, with that situation going on with you, man, you a few steps ahead, especially about understanding yourself or whatever. You like already there. So like you like a natural medium because everybody's naturally psychic, right? But you have a medium. A medium is an individual that they be like, I talk to this dead relative, this that and the third or whatever. That's necromancy. That's literally taking your awareness, your consciousness to the quote unquote dead realm and being able to interact with spirits and bring that information back, as well as travel throughout the what do you call that? The astral realms. Because it's different parts inside the astral realms, different realms, right? Different dimensions. And so a medium, those individuals, their crown chakra, they're born with their crown chakra already open. You feel me? So that's what's going on right now. And we know that to be true because this is where the DMT is being produced at. You know what I'm saying? So you really got it. Man, it's cold in here. Have a glass of wine. Isis, what's up? My dog bad, y'all. She thinks she's grown. She can just do whatever she want to do. Yeah, though, man. Um, like I was saying, people like that, me personally, don't you know what I'm saying? Don't take my word for it, or whatever, but this is my personal opinion. I just feel like they already a step ahead already because going through this natural process of who you are, whatever, this stuff already exists inside of you. So I done already made the connection in what it does or whatever. Like when you have that quote unquote the near death experience, whatever, you're able to see your life, but before your eyes or whatever. Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. I was able to see this. I was able to do that or whatever. You was basically high off DMT. You only supposed to produce that, right? When you're going through that state. This is what they say. That's what they was all. That's the only thing they was able to understand about it. You know what I'm talking about? And if anybody on here understands or knows about like the psychedelics, whatever, you know how it makes you feel or whatever. So you feel like you really don't care. You know what I'm talking about? And then people they be like, man, I know what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? Unless it happens traumatically, you know what I'm saying? That's different. But yeah. So my dude, you ain't crazy, you not blocked out, nothing. You really there. The veil not there. The only thing I say is just if you haven't, just look into yourself. But if you have, just continue to, because that's the only thing. Nature is the best spiritual system, which you are a part of. You know, we didn't have religion. We had multiple systems. And the crazy thing about it, technically, how I see it, all of the knowledge that was taught, right? While people say they were paganists, a pagan means one without a religion. So they basically they were spiritual individuals, and they taught they mystery systems or the spiritual systems or whatever, in a polytheistic way, but it was a monotheistic system, meaning it was one being. The one being was the primordial source. So it wasn't no being to worship. You feel what I'm saying? But in order to understand it and explain it or whatever, we took everything out of nature because why? Because everything comes from this primordial source, including you. But you happen to be an actual piece of this stuff.
So you don't come from the let's say primordial archetype of it or a image. You feel what I'm saying? You come from the image of everything. You feel what I'm talking about? So what does that mean? That means those individuals went inside of themselves, saw that, and took it out. You feel what I'm talking about? And put that out into the quote unquote universe, the world, or whatever you want to call it. What else do they say? They say they went to sleep. Somewhere down the line, we went to sleep. It's crazy to hear about that. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? Right? When you bring that up, they don't want to hear that. But listen to this. What people been telling you, and what do people tell you? Wake up. They tell you to wake up, don't they? Do they not? So they said we was going to a sleep, and certain individuals on a certain frequency understood that. This is why we keep coming back. Because certain individuals don't come back. Certain individuals stay in a particular realm or not. You know what I'm saying? And they don't keep coming back, getting recycled in. Gotta understand what's going on here. You feel me? It's gonna be multiple stories like it is now, coming out now in the years to come. But guess what? We're gonna rise and we're gonna fall again. Because that's the law of the complements. We was already high. And I'm talking this only applies here. When I say here, I'm not talking about just Earth. I'm talking about here all throughout these realms that they like to talk about. Because all these realms exist within one matrix. You feel what I'm saying? We as an ancient people just broke it up. You feel what I'm talking about? Because we didn't want to keep coming back here. Mind you, all these realms pretty much existed before this physical realm. Because you fell from a high. Remember I said that. But that high that you fell from, you can look at it like frequency. And when you fall in the frequency or whatever, the vibration, when it slows down or whatever, it solidifies. It becomes physical. You can see it. So sometimes when certain people be like tapping into themselves or tapping into different mystery systems or whatever and all that, they be like, they start to see certain spirits or whatever. So what always happens is that you start to see things in the corner of your eye or whatever. But it be so fast. They so fast because they exist on a different frequency. But you start to slow that thing down, and you're able to interact with that, interface with it, talk to it, get knowledge from it. You feel what I'm saying? And in turn, you utilize it, you know what I'm saying, to make your life better. Whatever you deem is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like I want to take the planet back over, you got to take the first planet back over. What is the first planet? We fail to realize as above, so below. But who is the above? You are the above, right? So we on the earth. This is the above. Okay, cool. But so the earth, it represents you, because you nature, right? So you got to get your earth together. You got to get your body together, your celestial body, and what's going on inside of it. I'm not talking about the physical as far as go work out, go eat healthy, none of that. That will come. That will come with understanding yourself. You know what I'm saying? Most people be just pushing that on you. What I will push on you is something easy. Learn yourself. It don't take much, 5 minutes to be like, damn, that was funny to me. And that made me what it sounds stupid. But the more you do it, the more you become close with yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Damn, that made me mad. That pisses me off that much. What the damn? You never really know who you are for real, for real. But the people do. But you don't listen to that. But the people around you know you better than yourself, right? Why do I say that? Because the real you comes out. You feel what I'm saying? In the arguments and this and that and the third or whatever, right? But how you feel about yourself, like is how you project yourself. A lot of times that be the ego. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we gotta listen to the people around us. Sometimes we gotta listen to that voice in our head. You feel what I'm saying? To get a better perspective of who we are. So it shows you where you need to be going and what you need to be doing to get back right. You feel what I'm talking about? It may don't take too much for you to do that. A person might be like, man, this is what I want to do in life, but this is what I got to do to get there. You feel what I'm saying? We all ain't going to we all ain't gonna be going in the same direction as far as like we're walking the same path. But we is going to the same direction. Basically, this direction, right, gives you the ability to create your own world. Right now, you get to experience that in a semi fashion, you know, especially now in this bullshit ass reality that we're living in right now. You walk around, you probably don't see it too much, but you see it on TikTok, and TikTok is going to allow, it's going to normalize it. So everything that people's doing on TikTok right now, eventually you're gonna start seeing that around the world, like everywhere, like in the physical world, you're gonna start seeing it because it's gonna be normalized. You know what I'm saying? But what that's doing is that's just getting people to be comfortable with the digital world that they're trying to bring about. You know what I'm saying? You want to break past that. You feel me? You want to go to a world where all the rules apply by you, is what I'm getting at. You or your queen or your king or whatever it is that's going on. Or by yourself. Because you have the power to do that, is what I'm saying. See, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about let's leave from here and meet up somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying? First and foremost, you got to be alone. You know what I'm saying? You got to be alone. You're going to have to be alone. Because what if there comes a time where it's forced upon you? Some individuals can't take it. They get depressed and then they cop out. And remember, I told you, if you're still here, no matter what you're going through, you have a purpose. So the best way and the only way to move about this way is to figure out what your purpose is, no matter what that is. Tapping in with you, you talking with. Most definitely, most definitely. Peace, peace. I love you too, guy. You already know. Like, that's all it's about, though. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about. That right there, getting into that aspect of this reality we call consciousness. Cause I'm not woke. If y'all look at what they done to the word woke, which Erica Badu coined it, but if y'all look at what they done to that, right? There's a TV show called Woke. Everybody keep pushing it in your face. You don't think that ain't suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You feel me? We deal with consciousness. And when I say consciousness, I don't say consciousness to religify it or even make it be like it's a spiritual system or whatever. It is a spiritual thing in the sense of it being natural, right? But because you're dealing with yourself. But consciousness, right? It really separated you from religion. That's it. Because there's so many different things that people do that's turned conscious. You feel what I'm saying? We not woke. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, because what you really are is a cosmic light. And if that light was awake in this state right now, would none of this be going on? Would none of this be going on right now? That's how powerful you are. See, the light that they talking about that have been here and all that, it never been here in the terms of how they put it. We always been here because we are the light. But the new light that they talking about that's coming forth or whatever, right? You feel the heat, but the new, because we bringing that. But I'm telling you, the new light that's supposed to be coming, first and foremost, it's already here. It's rising up inside of us. That's your kundalini. And you feel it more and more. And it's a black hole in a galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy in the middle. That symbolizes the consciousness that's rising up here and all over. You feel what I'm saying? And it starts here. It starts home. Home is where? Inside of you. Then here, America. You feel what I'm talking about? Then a whole other way, however you want to put it. Because once we step, everybody step. Y'all see that. You feel what I'm talking about? But you gotta get in accordance with your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get at. The light net, like they trying to, man. Listen, man. Your soul is asleep for a reason, and it's gonna stay asleep. You know what I'm talking about? Until your journey is done here. And I'm not talking about when you pass on or whatever, because you might not have got it all. You feel what I'm talking about? So you come back. And that's not that's not nothing higher than you giving that what do you call that? that decision. Ain't nothing higher than you making that decision. That's you making that decision. Because everything exists inside of you. So you already going to understand, right? Because you're going to be at your purest. You see what I'm saying? With everything that you're doing right now at the forefront of your brain, everything in this lifetime that you've done will be at the forefront of your brain, the forefront of your mind when you get to where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So you already gonna know with everything else being inside of you, like, damn, I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. That's what make you come back. Only if, only if, only if you don't have the baggage, right, to create what do you call that? We just gonna call it a hell. You create your own hell. If you live your life walking around in a hell, what is a hell? The bullshit ass life that you say that you live. That's hell. That's what we living in right now. Unless you create a different reality. If you live in that type of life, how you think your afterlife would be? Because life don't never stop. All it is energy. This is just how you maneuver within this quote unquote energy. This is energy as well. You feel what I'm saying? All this is just sounds and vibrations that we moving in. But it makes it more complex in our experience. So it gives us a better understanding when we take it back to our Akashic. That's all I'm trying to get at, y'all. You got it. You the greatest one out there, I'm trying to tell you. And look, right? Listen, check this out. If you one that really don't like the government, because that's our biggest enemy, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you one that don't like that, we got an advantage. They don't know which one to get for real. This is why they do us how they do us. They don't know which one of us is gonna be the Messiah. It ain't gonna be just one of us. Ancestors say when we at our natural population, 1,000,000,008,000,000, we got a thing called the God mind or unity, basically. The unity that everybody want for real, for real. It ain't gonna be 8 billion people unity. Ancestors says it's gonna be 1,000,000,008,000,000. That's gonna be us repopulating this to a way to where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And all of us think on one mind. And when I mean by think on one mind, I don't mean by, oh, we just do the same thing. No, it means like we tapped in, quantum entanglement. You see what I'm saying? Because we all are quantum entangled, quantumly connected, right? But it's the same thing. It's the same thing as cell phones. I gotta have your number to call you, first and foremost. But with this, I gotta be aware of you. While I'm already connected to you, we have to be aware of each other to be able to tap into each other. How are you gonna tap into me? How I'm gonna tap into you if I don't even know about your awareness? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like knowing that number. You feel what I'm saying? But 1,000,000,008,000,000. All of them people supposed to be one, basically. This is what they say. You see what I'm talking about? This is what those that do all of these distractions fear. You know, what you would call the elite. I don't like to call them that because what they elite over. You know what I'm talking about? We sit here, we argue, we make videos, and we talk about the elite. We send threats towards the elite. You would never see them because they make bunkers. We see the videos on the bunkers. You would never see them, right? The people that walk around here advocating and doing all that or whatever and all that, they don't matter. And the quote unquote elite know that. You feel what I'm saying? They know that they want you to do that. They want you to be sitting here and fight amongst each other for sure. But fight all these other people too for sure. While we sit back and get out of here while we got a chance. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, it's a distraction. It's a real distraction because you go inside yourself. You remember Stranger Things? You saw what she was doing in Stranger Things. The government call it remote travel and remote viewing, right? We call it astro traveling. You see what I'm talking about? Soul traveling. What that mean? You saw what's his name? Doctor Strange. It's crazy. Strange Things, Doctor Strange. But yeah, how he's able to push people astral body out. You able to do that, and with the amount of ashe that you build up inside of you, meaning the mudras, the meditations, the different spiritual systems. You know what I'm saying? Just having an understanding and the gnosis of it, and your placement inside of it all. Because what you're supposed to do is replace those individuals and put yourself in that energy and get aware of that and activate it inside of yourself. You see what I'm talking about? Then you're able to manipulate things in the spiritual, but also in the physical. You get what I'm saying? This is why people are able to do those things. People are able to manipulate their mental body. You know what I'm saying? When a person is doing like something like telekinesis, they levitate, doing all that, they're able to manipulate their mental body. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Just lost. Individualism. Yeah, but listen. Remember I told you. You got to become like when you tap into your soul, right? It's what Carl Jung say, because your soul is really your subconscious. You feel me? They say it's individuation. So individualism, it's not really a person getting up and trying to, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna be off of myself. I'm finna be what, man? You be off of yourself in a way of self-love. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be some individuals that try to block you off from this information. So you gotta love yourself enough to just say, I can't deal with you. And if it's a person that you feel like you loved or whatever, that's okay. You love it from a distance. What's gonna happen is the individuals that need to be around you in certain times, because they might not last. You know what I'm talking about? Will come around you and give you the ability to learn what you need to learn. You know what I'm talking about? Or fix what you need to fix. Because we got karmic debts, we got this, we got that. You feel what I'm talking about? And certain individuals come in our lives to help us balance that out. You know what I'm talking about? And then they go. This is why you're not supposed to be attached. You feel what I'm saying? But me personally, when I think about individualism or individuation or whatever, it goes all the way back to the prokaryotic cell. When you having a dual reality, the human body is a eukaryotic cell, which is a bacteria, but it's a bacteria that's a multi-organism. So it's multiple things going on inside of this thing. And that you are, because you can have this existence. You feel what I'm talking about? Now, in existence and experience. The prokaryotic cell is a single cell organism, unicell, right? So inside of our core, we got the nucleus. Inside of the core of the prokaryotic cell is a nucleoid. So the DNA is chaotic. Everything is one, basically. You feel what I'm talking about? And the eukaryotic cell is more organized. So that's all that really means. It's the light side. And the prokaryotic cell is the dark side. So you be like, you an individual, you a single, you a soul, but we separated. Where's the unity? Where's the connected? If you look at bacteria and how it works together, they go in groups and clans, or you know what I'm saying, communities. That's how they live. You feel what I'm talking about? But basically, they underwent a process of evolution to become this single cell organism, whatever, and still live amongst the community like that. And it'd be like a trillion different cells at one time, or bacteria cells at one time. So think of it like that when I be talking about the 1 billion, 8 million. You feel what I'm saying? In the unit mind, but you still get to be that individual and live out your own individual reality. You feel what I'm talking about? If you so please. Oh no, I'm talking about type of hive mind. I mean, that's kind of sort, but it's kind of sort of. But a hive mind, it be in movies. This is how they depict it. It be they like, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It'd be like one. It don't really be a hive mind. It'd so say like the president of the United States, and everybody just think like him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You dogs just get out and do whatever y'all want to do. I'm not putting y'all back in the cage. I'm gonna let them do what they do. I gotta get my water. I'm thirsty. But no, when I see a hive mind, it always be like this one little individual, and they, a demon or something, and then they come out of nowhere, and it'd be like so many other, like, look, just like Stranger Things. You know what I'm saying? So many different creatures, and they was able to see through all the other creatures, or the TV show The Strain with the what they call him. They call him the Master. So he's basically like Dracula or whatever. So all his vampires and every other vampire that he that was attacked, or what do you call that, turn, a person that was turned like a vampire or whatever, he was able to see through them, hear through them, control them, all that stuff. I don't really dig the hive mind. You know what I'm talking about? Because you have no control over yourself in that aspect. And that's not what I'm saying. that ain't what I'm saying, you feel me? But yeah, y'all, it's so much more to understand, overstand about this, you feel what I'm talking about? But I feel like I gotta go back. The greatest thing, the greatest key is knowing ourselves. And subconscious, your heart chakra, whatever you want to say, or whatever, and your intuition. So that would be the solar plexus as well. Now deal with all your chakras, but those key ones right there, including your third eye. You know what I'm talking about? Your third eye is connected to your intuition, which your intuition is connected to your soul. You feel me? And your solar plexus. And your solar plexus that's your soul chakra. You know what I'm saying? And so that's like the region of where your soul is at, that gut region or whatever. The gastrointestinal region. Remember they say Jesus was born in a stable of shit, right? That's the light that's inside of you. You feel me? And if you understand the whole bacteria thing, it'll make more sense. But that's understanding enough on a quantum scale. You feel me? And I keep saying quantum because if you understand anything about the Egyptian mythology, I say the Egyptian mythology. You know what I'm saying? People be saying Kemeticism, but if you understand, Kemeticism is really new. What do I mean by really new? I mean by it was somebody that looked just like us that said, "Hey, we're gonna talk about Kemet because Kemet is the original name for Egypt." You know what I'm talking about? And just redid it like that or whatever. So now we just run with that. It's just Egyptian mythology or Kemet mythology. It's the same old thing because those individuals that was out there, tell you a little brief history. Those individuals that was out there in what we call Kemet or Egypt, whatever, right? Those individuals ran out the original people that was there. I don't call them Egyptians because there wasn't Egyptians, but they call them Typhonian Egyptians. Typhon, right, is the Greek god Set, right? So these black people that was out there in Egypt or Kemet or wherever you want to say, if you understand the Kemeticism mythology, like not the spiritual creation myth, but the historical creation myth, it tells you about King Namur and all of that, throwing out them people. They don't tell you the real hit, like it don't tell you who they are. You see what I'm saying? But if you look up who they are, it tells you their whole mythology. But it tells you about King Namur throwing them people out or whatever. Those people is who funded Greece and Rome and all of that, and a whole their whole mythology, the Greek mythology, not the philosophy, but the Greek mythology. And they were called the Etruscans, right? And the quote unquote Persians or whatever ran them people out. So that whole Persian War and the Trojan War, whatever, that was them. You feel me? Talking about annihilating, eliminating the last form of ancient people that was there. That's how that came about. So, but if you understood that for real, you will understand that the Egyptians were talking about quantum mechanics. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing to be, oh, well, they got rid of the original because I ain't told you who they was. Those individuals came from over here. Those individuals that was out there in Egypt. Because see, nobody never say that somebody predated Egypt. They did. They talk about it in the mythology. It's in the story. You feel what I'm saying? It was people out there. Those people came from here. They came from Atlantis. We know this to be Atlantis, right? So that's the story. So it give you a better connection. That's our connection to that, and our connection here, and our connection to all the way back. This is why everything out here exists. And they be like, oh, well, it came from there. It came from there. Everything that you can find outside of America already existed out here. You feel me? And that's why. Because we are ancient people. I keep saying we are ancient people because I'm talking about us in America. And I like to think that y'all in the same place that I'm in. You feel what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We still all the same people though. At the same time. You get me? But that's the mythology. You know what I'm talking about? And do with it what you will. All I'm saying is look at yourself. You know you the trendsetter. You see what I'm talking about? You know when you move, they move. Who is they? Anybody that's vibrating low. Don't matter what they look like. You see what I'm talking about? Because low vibrating entities need something high vibrating to latch on. They can't latch on from too close. You feel what I'm talking about? You get burned by the light. You feel what I'm saying? But from a distance, they pull on the energy, and that's cool for them. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I really wasn't even supposed to be on here this long. So I'm gonna get up off of here in a second. Anybody got any questions or whatever, I'll try to answer. You know what I'm saying? This was just, we was just talking. We just building. Man, the last place I was staying at, they ain't had no nature around there. You couldn't hear none of this. I like to listen to the nature because it really talks to you. When you stop and try to listen to like the little subtle sounds, it be codes, channels, and information. It's everything has a light side and a dark side. You know what I'm saying? The light side would be the nature that you hear. The dark side would be actual sounds and what do you call that? Not symbols, but harmonies and tones or whatever that you can resonate with to understand. You feel what I'm saying? It make you feel a certain way. That will bring about the expression. You get what I'm talking about? But certain individuals don't possess what we possess. They can't hear that. But we done been so far away from it that sometimes you gotta detox, decalcify, and just sit and bathe in nature and allow it to come to you. You know what I'm saying? Ground yourself. You can ground yourself. You can sit down. I don't recommend sitting down on like what do you call that, concrete, but you can sit down on grass or on the dirt or whatever, and then you can rock. Close your eyes, breathe, and then you can rock from side to side. Right? I would say do it like 9 to like 18 times, right? Or 36, and then when you stop doing it, or whatever, right? You still gonna feel that vibration. You feel what I'm talking about? And once that vibration that you feel, because you still gonna feel like you're rocking. Once you feel like, the vibration done aligned and went up to your crown chakra or whatever, that means you done align with the earth frequency. That's a little meditation you can do to align yourself with the earth frequency. So whatever, because earth got a natural frequency, right? But everywhere, all like everywhere they've been cut off. So every place has its own little energy going on or whatever. So you can align yourself with that, so you really know what's going on within that area and within that region. You feel what I'm talking about? Because nature could be talking to you. You feel what I'm talking about? You be like, you don't know what's going on. Nature ain't talking to you, and it is talking to you. You see birds, you see bees, you see all of these different creatures coming and all that stuff, and it means something that, you know what I'm saying, while you see it, while you hear it or whatever, you probably see stuff in your dreams, but you're just not aware of it. So what I'm saying is, you do little things like that, you become aware of it, you know what I'm saying? And we got to look out for these things. We got to know to look out for these things, and that's why I say it's good to, study too. So I wouldn't say like every time you see a bird, man, why I see this bird. But if you keep on seeing that bird, you know what I'm talking about? Like I always see bats, and I always see what do you call that, owls. Last night you would have thought it was 30, 40 owls out here. They was like having a conversation. Then I started making a noise back at them, right? And they was making a noise back or whatever. But that's my like this is my first time like being over here like that or whatever. But I used to be seeing them, but they be talking now. You know what I'm saying? They just be out here. So, you know, it means certain things. But certain people be like they got a negative connotation on them, on the bats or whatever. But if you go all the way back, it's positive. So, you know, just being one with nature. That's all. Being one with nature, being one with yourself, mastering yourself, you understand the universe. You understand the universe, you're able to tap into everything. So when a person comes to you and be like, yeah, woo, woo, blase, skip, you feel what I'm talking about? Nah, you use a liar, get up out of my face. See, because we had no time for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you be like, time isn't real. No, it's not real. I'll tell you why. Because 2 years ago, right, time felt like it was going by slow. Now things just feel like they moving by fast, right? So what am I mean? I mean, in this duration of this cycle, or whatever, right? It's running out, and it's on its ass end. You feel what I'm talking about? And you don't leave here with everything. You leave here with everything that you took and understood, because you leave things here. Because there's certain things that keep you here and keep you like, because you be attached to, so it keeps you bound to this place. You feel me? And knowledge is power. So when you take that knowledge and look at it eternally, whatever, it frees your mind. What is your mind? Your mind is the greatest thing of all. You know what I'm saying? They say your subconscious mind controls 90 or 95% of your behavior. You feel me? That don't mean just me walking around and what I'm doing and how I feel. That means your bodily functions and everything. All of that. Instincts, everything. Right? Your subconscious mind is connected to what they call your 98% junk DNA, which is a list of viruses and bacteria. And if we're talking about bacteria, remember what I told y'all. Mitochondria is bacteria, prokaryotic cells. The human body is bacteria, eukaryotic cells. So, what are they really saying? I'm trying to tell y'all. See, and I just said I was going to get up off here, and I just went into something else. Not really, though. But yeah, that's it. Gonna slide up off here. Hey, look, y'all be safe. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. It's 8 o'clock. I don't know. I want to come back. Like, I want to come back and do another live, whatever. I was supposed to do like 2 today, but I think me and Soul Shine finna do a live and talk about the OA. If y'all don't know what the OA is, it's a show on Netflix. I mean, like it means the original angel. Obviously, it sounds, but in there, if y'all haven't seen it, whatever, they talk about a lot about, like, basically time traveling or whatever, and near death experiences or whatever, and they talk about these movements, and it looked real, like it looked like how what the natives was doing, basically, the indigenous people, and I think it's real interesting. So we're gonna build on that basically. I don't know if we're doing it today or whatever. So if we is, I'm probably gonna be over there doing that. I'm probably gonna be doing this on my page though too, but I'm just saying. So I'll probably gonna be talking about what we're talking about right now, which ain't really nothing. It's the most important thing, but I say it ain't nothing because you see how people deal with it. People don't want to look at themselves. They want to look at somebody else, something else, whatever. I don't know, man. Y'all be safe out here, man. You feel me? My dog in there going crazy. Her ass nuts.